here
Yeah.
in a second.
And we are live.
We are live. Yes, live and in
All
living
right.
color. So
In
yes,
living
we are
color. So
live.
let's start it off the way we always do.
Start it off the way we always do. Yes, we do. Here we go. Ready?
Ready.
Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag.
to the flag
of the United States of
of the
America.
United States of America
And
and to the republic
for
which it stands,
one
nation,
under
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with liberty
and
and justice for all.
For all, baby.
Okay. Oh, we got stuff to talk about tonight. Oh my God.
Yes. Come on, what's going on here?
My life away.
There you go.
Home and drown my troubles away.
Oliver Anthony
It's a
music
damn
coming
shame
out here.
what the world's gotten to.
We got to talk about what's going on in north of Richmond. You know, because the people up there don't know what the hell they're doing. But I think we might have a new group of people. So yeah, I'm gonna back out my music.
I'm hoping we will.
All right, living in a new world today, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
It's a new world. Is this your Kid Rock?
We do
Yeah.
without the right to scream, fuck you! Wear your mask, take your pills. Now a whole generation's mentally ill.
It's mentally ill, baby.
A COVID fear
yeah.
is coming to town. We gotta quick, shut our borders down.
Shut the borders
Somebody
down.
does the media embraces. Big Dot doesn't even call them racist.
That's Sean. He's a racist, Sean. Homophobic, misogynist, all the above. Nah.
Yes, they are. Not a good pick. So there you go. All right. How we doing? We good?
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
All right,
Yes.
there we go.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
So my
So
brother.
yeah, I played that because we're hearing a lot of flack back to Donald Trump's pick, and I play that because I'm psyched about this because
Yeah.
you know I don't want all these people who say what these people are going to go in and do come true. But what I want is a new look at our government. Right now, our government is terrible. It's broke. And if you keep doing the same things, you're going to keep getting the same things. He's picking people who are not going to do the same thing. They're going to do something different. Let's see how it works out. Okay?
Yes.
I think it's going to be good, but let's see what happens. So that's why I played that song, because we reserve the right to say, fuck you. That's it.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Exactly. Yes. Yep. So we're uploading some images of his picks because we like him so far. And you know, one of the things that the Biden Harris thing, we're going to go for the next generation. We're going to turn the page. We're going to have a younger generation to run our country, and I think it's great. We need to have young men and women to step up to the plate and enter into the arena, and we need to have them willing to fight for our country. And it's not just a Donald Trump like, oh my gosh, they're for the Make America Great agenda. Well, shouldn't we want to make
Dulcie's
America
on.
great?
She says good evening. Hello, sweetheart.
Hello,
She might be
Dulcie.
joining us later. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you there.
No, you're all right.
And
It
there
just
it
made
goes,
me
playing
think
itself
of,
again. I got to unplug that. So
That's pretty funny, actually.
it is. No, it's not funny. It's really upsetting. But
Doug
that's
McLeod
the
is
way I
on.
do it.
Hello, Doug. How's it going? Welcome to
Hello,
the show.
Doug.
All right, so we have two pictures, so we can start talking about these. Color's not that good on it. I apologize for that. But basically,
no, it's fine.
you have for chief of staff, you have Susie Wells, first female chief of staff in the history of our nation. You know, from the misogynist,
from the misogynist,
man,
yes.
You know, so then you have Representative Mike Waltz has been asked to do the White House National Security Advisor. Lee Zeldin, who's going to become the EPA administrator. It says asked. So the White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy is going to be Stephen Miller. This is the one I really like. This is Border Czar, Tom Homan. Oh my gosh, if you've never seen Tom Homan, look him up on YouTube. There's a great video of him trashing on AOC when AOC's trying to trash on him, and she's like, well,
Right.
you know, these
He's just
these-
explaining her law. That's all he's doing.
yeah,
But
these
she doesn't know it,
asylees,
so
he's
it's
like,
trashing on her.
yeah, these asylees. He's like, no, they're not asylees. They're illegal aliens. Well, no, they have the right. No, according to the code, blah, 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 blah. He names the code, number, chapter,
Yep.
sentence, paragraph, whatever. It's like, nope, they don't have
Yep.
that right. They're committing a crime. They're not allowed here legally. Well, they are allowed to commit it. Yeah, if they come to a port of entry, they're not coming to port of entry. So, and then
Well,
the
he had
UN
a
ambassador-
great answer the other night to a question. They asked him,
Oh,
it's going to cost $30-something billion to get rid of these people that came in. And his answer was plain and simple. What price do you put on national security? And I got to double down on that. Plus, I want to say this is $30-something billion that the Democrats caused. So I don't want to hear any Democrats whining about it. They're the ones that let
Plus-
these people in. They're the ones that should be blamed for the money we have to spend to get them out. Plain and simple.
right. Plus, they're currently spending billions of dollars to house and feed and clothe these people and give them iPhones and all this other
Yes.
stuff. So basically, you take that all that money away and put it towards the deportation of these people. What's the problem? You're spending the money anyway,
Right.
you know. So
Yeah.
I think,
and
I think
he
Tom
also said
Homan's-
they asked him, "Are you gonna break up families?" Well, no, we're not. We don't have to break up families. They can all go. The whole family can go.
We can deport
And that's the
whole
way it should
family.
be.
Yeah. Well, the
You
thing with
fucking
AOC,
came into our country illegally, man.
easy there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The
So
thing,
you know.
the thing with AOC, when AOC was grilling him, she goes, "Well, you're recommending the splitting up of families." He's like, "Well, that's one of the many things I recommend. It's not the only thing I recommended." Well, you recommended that you separate families. He said, "Look, if I get pulled over for a DUI and I have a child in the back of my car, what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to separate me from my child. And if I'm in a
Exactly.
domestic violence, domestic abusive situation, what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to separate the parent from the child, right? This is not abnormal. This is the way it works. If you don't like it, tough. Don't let them in. That's the whole thing. So, UN ambassador is going to be Representative Elsie Stefanik. I don't know a lot about her. I've heard some good things about her. I don't know. I'm not saying she's a bad pick. I don't know a lot about her, but she's going to be the UN ambassador to the basically
Another
ambassador to-
misogynist pick, evidently, though.
Yeah, because she's a woman. If you didn't notice that, Secretary of State. I
Yeah,
like
and-
this
and
a
Trump-
lot.
And Trump only surrounds himself with weak women, so she must be weak.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
He must be weak.
Yeah. That was sarcastic, in case anybody didn't feel it.
Whenever you want to call your wife on stage, you can call her on stage. So, Secretary of State.
All right,
is,
Hunt, come on in.
Senator Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio, I think, is going to be great. Secretary of State. Again, you have youth and vigor. You have a guy who loves America. He's an immigrant who came to America, who loves America, who's currently a senator of the United States of America, and he's going to be a great Secretary of State, I believe. DHS Secretary, Governor Kristi Noem. I have loved her since the first time I've seen her
Here-
be the
hang on,
governor of,
Jeff, hang on.
South Dakota.
We have our producer, our special guest is coming in tonight.
Woo.
My wife, Dulcie. Everybody say hello. My beautiful wife.
Hello, Dulcie.
So-
Hello, everybody.
Sorry about the
Two of
PDA,
us.
but that's the way we roll around here. So, yeah, we're
PDA,
gonna have to
what's
get a little
that?
bit closer.
Do I need to
You
look
have
that
to
up
sit
too?
close
or-
to you?
There you go.
Oh,
No, you're
jeez.
good. All right, there we go.
You don't have another headset
There we
for her?
go.
How's she supposed to hear what we're talking about?
Hello.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Hang
Yeah,
on.
you jackass.
Hang on. Let me go get one. I'll be right back. Here, you talk to her. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Hello.
How'd that make your headset feel?
I
your
made
head
it.
Feel? You made it. Good job.
I know, really. Like,
Welcome to the show.
I
The,
made it.
Really, really, really big shoe. The really big shoe tonight. So we're just going over the key staff appointments that Donald Trump has made so far. We're up to the Department of Homeland Security, Governor Kristi Noem. I was saying I like Kristi Noem. I've
Wow.
loved her since the first time she became governor. I loved her when she didn't shut down her state during COVID. She kept it all open, didn't shut a single thing down.
South
tell anybody
Dakota,
to go
yes.
home. Yeah, South Dakota is just great, So the next one I think is great. And I Rick was saying that you don't know this guy very much. There's a lot to find out about him if you like, but Secretary of Defense was Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth has his own
Right.
show on Fox
I was
Nation.
just looking at the news.
Yeah, he's written several different books. He's a double Medal of Honor winner in the military. He's a Marine. So he did like 20 years in the Marine Corps, I believe. He went to Princeton. He went to Harvard. He's a very smart, intelligent
Damn.
man. He knows a lot about the military. He is a pro-military person, and he's going to get rid of all of the DEI bullshit that they've let into our military, and just
So
basically
is he
screwed up our
too
whole country with.
qualified for the job?
well, the Washington Swamp says that he's not from Washington, so how can he know how to do his job because he's never been in Washington before? Like, I think that's a plus. Don't you?
Well, I was just having this discussion earlier, and let's put it from a different perspective, right? You have people like us who are peasants when we work for people,
Yeah,
and
we are. It's so true. The
he's been
garbage
a
of the
peasant
Trump
in the
supporters.
military. He's been a peasant in the military for
Yeah.
20 years, right?
Yeah.
So he knows what it feels like to be a peasant versus climbing the military ladder. Now, this is
I
how
think
we
he was an
feel.
officer, so that's not really the peasant.
I know,
husband
but
rider,
he didn't
yes, I
climb
understand what you're saying.
that ladder, right?
Correct.
It's just
He
like
never
in
became a
the
general,
healthcare. Right. So that in the healthcare, we do it, but we climb, but we also know what we'd like to fix that we have no power to do so. So
Right.
I am hoping against, that he proves everybody wrong, and he does right for the peasants, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Not
I
calling
mean,
military anybody. But for those who do the boots on the ground guys, that he does right for the boots on the ground.
yeah. Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I
that's
think
what
it's a
I'm
great
hoping
pick.
comes out of it. I
And
mean,
here's
regardless of educational status, blah blah blah. Sometimes we all know degrees are degrees, but that doesn't mean
Right.
you can perform the job, right?
right. Well, you
So,
got
I would
JD
give him a
Vance and his
chance.
degrees too, so as the vice president. So, JD
Right.
Vance, another
So,
military
again-
personnel. So, yeah.
Right. So you said that's how it would be. Oops.
What the heck are you doing over there,
Yeah,
young
these-
man?
My tech guys want to kill my ear.
I don't think these headphones are going to work in here. They got.
All right. So no big deal. Just wanted to stop in and say
I
hello.
got one more try.
He's got one more try. My tech guy should have done this way earlier. Clearly.
Yeah, he
You know.
forgot
You
that
know.
you were coming on and needed a set of headsets to listen
Then I
to
got.
what we're
Actually, I
talking
got two more
about.
tries.
So.
Well,
Let me try this.
After he set it up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, after
Yeah.
he started the show,
Yeah.
that's the thing. After he started the show, he's like, "What? What are you guys?"
What?
I
But
don't
no,
think-
so far, I mean, I think he just gave Tulsi Gabbard a position.
Yeah,
I
we
just
haven't
saw
gotten to
the
that
news.
page yet. That's on the
Mhm.
next one. But yeah, this is the
Oh,
first
okay.
phase of the key staff appointments. So the next one is the CIA director, John Ratcliffe. When he first said that, I thought it was the guy that is threatening to impeach Donald Trump or prevent him from being sworn
Right.
in. They're very close in their last name, I think. So I don't know. But so then this is the thing I think is great. The U.S. ambassador to Israel is Mike Huckabee. So Mike Huckabee has been to Israel over 100 times in his life. He's taken his daughter Sarah
Right.
Huckabee there. His family's been there. He's a very pro-Israeli type of man. So it's everything about these people just shows me that we're finally going to get some change in our government. There's no more swamp
Right.
people in the government, and I'm totally excited about it. I'm also really excited about the Department of Government Efficiency, the DOGE, as they're calling it, because I think Elon Musk
Oh
has a,
yeah.
Bitcoin called a Doge or a digital coin called Doge, or one he heavily invested in. I just think it's funny, it's comical, but you got Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, so they're going to basically look at all our government agencies and see where there's waste and fraud, right? And they're going to clean it up. And again, another thing that we need in our government to actually, I don't know, pull their head out of their ass and start cleaning stuff up, But so then this is the
I
one.
mean,
that you
one
were
can
talking
hope
about.
that's what it's about.
Yeah, this is the one you're talking about here, Dulcie, where it's has the two additional ones that they added today for the Director of National Intelligence. We got Tulsi Gabbard. Oh my gosh! So
Right.
Yes.
I just can't say enough about Tulsi Gabbard. I think that she has a lot of intelligence. She's also a military
No, I
personnel.
can hear
She's a pilot in the military, so she knows what's going on. She was the first Democrat to question, why are we going to war in Afghanistan? Why are we doing this? And that's one of the reasons she lost her position in the Democrat Party, because she was questioning their military
Right.
attacks on other nations. So, and then the last one, the
I
greatest
can,
one
yeah,
of the day,
talking through the mic.
the greatest one of the day for the Attorney General is Matt Gaetz. So my brother said just before the show started that apparently Matt Gaetz resigned from the House of Representatives. And we
Yeah.
figure
Yes.
He
that that's
did.
Effective immediately.
The Congress.
Yeah.
Was it
The
Congress?
Congress, yeah.
yeah. So we figure that's probably so that Florida can start working to get another congressman in there before January 20th, when the president gets sworn in. So because that might give him enough time, 2.5 months, that might give him enough time to get another congressman in there, and then they wouldn't really lose a congressman, because Elise Stefanik is also a representative, a congresswoman. So that's
Yep,
taking
yep.
another Republican congresswoman from the House of Representatives. And Representative Mike Waltz was also a congressman from Florida. They brought in to be the White House National Security Advisor. I'm really waiting to see where they're going to put what is it? What is his name? I totally forgot his name. I told you the picture. The guy that he was going to have as his director of national intelligence last time that he was running, the deep state just basically went after him. What is his name? Rick, do you know his name? The Colonel.
Who we talking about?
The colonel that
from the
was going to
deep
be
state.
Trump's national security advisor last time that he ran, and they basically
Oh,
attacked him.
Colonel Milley? Mike Milley?
No, that's another story we can talk about. The what is the guy's name? He was I think he was in the Marine Corps, but he was a colonel, and he was going to be the security. I think he's going to be the White House National Security Advisor, and they attacked him, and basically, he had to sell his house and everything to protect his family. He basically said that he did the crime because they said, if you don't admit to doing this crime against Donald Trump,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
going
I know
to
who
go
you're
after
talking
your
about.
son. And he's like, look, I'm already spending my whole life savings to try to protect myself. You don't need to be going after my son. But then he got a better lawyer and he started fighting back, and he won. He won his case. What is his name? Colonel.
Right.
Dang it. What is his name? Anyway, Doug, do you know what the colonel's name was? Anyway, so I'm waiting to see what they're going to do with him for a position, because he has been a loyal Trump supporter. He may be working from the background, in the background, basically telling Matt Gaetz
Right.
and these other people where to go. The CIA director John Ratcliffe and Pete Hegseth, because I'm sure Pete Hegseth knows the guy, because he's very well known in the military. I can't even remember his name. Colonel. Totally picture his face. Anyway, we'll move on. So yeah, so we got those things going on, and what else we got going on? We can remove that from the studio. So we have a lot of good picks coming up. We have a lot of young blood coming back into our government administration. So, and all these people are like, oh my gosh, he's going to ruin our economy. He's going to ruin our nation. He's going to go after all his enemies and stuff. Well, first of all, they're the ones that started going after Donald Trump because they didn't like him being one. And I'm not saying tit for tat, but the reality is he's not going to go after them because he's just going after them. He's going to go after them because he broke the law. Did you get it fixed? Did you figure it out?
Yes.
Sweet.
I got it all set now, yeah. For a while, we'll see what
It
happens.
took, like
Yeah,
10
no.
minutes.
Did you figure out that general's name that you were talking about there?
It was Colonel.
Colonel
What the hell was his name? But we have to go back and talk about General Milley, because that's another whole story that's going to be talked about. But what's his name?
But one of the things I'd like to see fixed and given mom with kids and stuff like that is, and again, respectfully so, but the whole, if you're trans and you identify give them their own sports team. You
Yes.
know, do
Right.
not have, a
They should
male-
not be able to.
That is something that I really hope that he said he was going to fix.
Oh, he's gonna fix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
You
he's gonna
know,
fix it.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. They can definitely have their own sports team, their own, because everybody needs their own life. But it'd be nice and helpful so that our kids doesn't have to compete unfairly.
Right.
So
Yeah, I've said this many times. I don't know what I'd do if my daughter was in a swimming pool right now and a transgender got in to swim against her. I don't know, or had to be in her locker room. I don't know what I'd do. I'm glad I don't have to find out. So
Yeah, that would be terrible.
yeah,
Yeah,
those
I'm glad I don't have to come bail you out of jail because you found out.
yeah, and then there's that.
That's gonna really bother me because I love this guy. He's a great guy. I've seen him. He's been on the Sean Ryan show. He's been on a lot of shows that I like. He's been interviewed. He's always he seems like he's on the road to make sure that nobody can know where he's at. He's always in a motorhome. Somebody else is driving and he's talking, doing an interview and stuff like that. So it ought to be interesting. But I don't, I was trying to look him up. And
What was his position? Was he
was
he Secretary of Defense?
No, he was going to be the White House. What is it called? The White House security advisor.
Hi, Brooklyn.
Hey, Bramlin, how you doing? Bramlin's on.
Have a safe tour.
Hello,
out there.
Bramlin.
My FU and Uncle Ray
Miss
love you
Foo-
guys.
Miss Foo Foo.
Oh, Miss
Wow.
my foo foo.
Miss
Oh, okay, there you go, my foo foo.
Wow,
You're
how
so
do you really
silly.
feel about us, Braylon? That's pretty
No,
funny.
that's what he calls you, Miss Foo Foo and Uncle Rick. I think little one is probably watching his daughter.
Okay, I'll try to keep my mouth at a little
You
better
should-
than
you should
now.
Probably do that. You should probably do that. Yeah. I wish I could totally remember that guy's name. Anyway, so the other thing you're talking about is General Milley, right? General Milley. Who did? God, why can't I remember names tonight?
Is it? Hang on. Is
Steve
it
Bannon.
Colonel
Steve
Colonel-
Bannon talk.
Vinman?
Vignin?
Vinman.
No,
Vin?
no, that's not it.
What are Yevgen?
No, that's one of the guys that testified against him that had no interaction with them at all, but he still testified against him. So,
Oh, okay.
so General Milley, Steve Bannon said basically what Trump needs to do is he needs to reactivate General Milley, so he's a general back in the military because he's retired. But as the president of the United States, he has the right and ability to reactivate you as a general, and then court-martial
Yeah.
him for his duties that he did underneath President Trump. Because when President Trump was running for re-election, Steve Milley called the Chinese counterpart to say, "Don't worry, we're not going to allow him to do something crazy or send off nuclear missiles or anything towards China." That is directly
Michael Flynn.
opposite- Michael Flynn, General Michael Flynn, yes. So General Michael
Yeah.
Flynn is the guy I was talking about. I can't wait to see where he stands
That's the
because
one I
I'm
like.
pretty sure that Trump's going to give him an
You can't hear it?
administrative
Michael
position.
Flynn. That's
Yeah.
the one I like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So Dalton
Yeah, he
likes
was
him, so
he
it
was the
must
one
be
that
good.
he was the one that they went after, and he eventually said, yeah, he had but he was supposed to have contact with them in his job. That was part of
Right.
it, and it
Yep.
wasn't anything nefarious. And he's the guy. Hopefully,
Well,
Trump will get him back in there because he's a strong person.
Yeah, the problem with Michael Flynn, according to the Swamp, is he knew where all the bodies were hidden. So he knew all the dirt and stuff on Donald Trump, or not Donald Trump, on President Barack Hussein Obama. He knew all the dirt of his 8 years because he was totally involved with the intelligence agencies for the time that Barack Hussein Obama was the president of the United States. So when he got picked to be the national intelligence advisor to Donald Trump, they went after him hard because they were like, we can't let him tell Donald Trump anything because he's going to know everything about us, right?
Well, and that's what I was telling Dulcie about the picks they're gotten like that Pete Hegset.
Except.
Hegseth.
Egg what?
Except.
Hegseth.
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 They don't. they don't like him because he's an unknown, not because they don't think he can do the job. He's going to come in, he's going to do the job differently than all the rest of the people have done it. And they're afraid of that. They're afraid
Right.
of change. Okay. And that's all this is. And they're afraid to do, and like I said, $36 trillion in debt. We got to do something different. And I say the same thing about our government, our army, our military is in chaos. We got to do something different. We just got to.
Absolutely.
We have 2 wars going on right now overseas. We've got to do something different. We can't keep doing the same old crap. Oh,
Right.
I digest.
Well, the funny thing is, like the other,
Digress and digest.
digest. I'm digesting some food right now. There you go. No, the
Yeah.
funny thing is the mainstream media, excuse me, they're talking about it. They're like, why would they hire a Fox News host? It's like, dude, you didn't
Yeah,
take
that's not
5
why he's
seconds
hiring
of
him.
investigative reporting to say who is this Pete Hegseth and where did he come from? You would have
Right.
found out all his background
Yeah.
in 5 seconds or less. This guy's written at least 3 books,
So-
I think 5. You know, so
I
it's
I've
just
I don't hear him a lot on Fox, but every now and then I hear him on there. And I got to say this: he's very strong for our military.
oh
That
yeah,
everything
yeah.
he said, he's very strong for our military. And who knows what he's going to do when he gets there? No one will know for sure. But my feeling is he's going to do a really good job, and he's going to
Right.
straighten the shit out. Get rid of the DEI. Get rid of the
That's going to be the primary thing to get rid of.
transgender bullshit that they tried to promote in the military.
Sex
Our
changes
military
in the
should be focused on
military.
one thing:
Yeah.
keeping us safe and keeping us out of wars. That's what our military should be.
Well,
That's
they
it.
all are
Period.
concerned about safe space, right? It's
There is no
Well,
safe space when
that's
you're in the
the thing.
military.
There-
You don't have
yeah,
time
you
for
don't-
space.
you-
If you're in a war, you don't have time for safe space. You just don't.
You do not
Well, I
have
mean,
the
you
ability
know,
to have
for
a
some
safe space in
reason,
a war.
if-
So.
No.
They've gotten
And if you
these-
need a safe space, then you shouldn't be in the military. It's that simple.
Anyway,
I-
talking about Steve Bannon,
Oh, Steve Bannon. Yeah, talking about Steve Bannon, we got his book
I got
and
Oh,
it,
it's
yeah.
signed.
and
Yeah, nice.
it's signed.
Yeah.
He's
But
talked
anyway.
about some of the classes he had in prison when he was in prison, and you know all the people that he
Oh yeah,
was
he gave classes
basically
in
educating
prison,
there.
apparently.
Yeah, yep.
Yes,
Mhm.
he gave classes.
Yeah.
And he said
So,
it was.
I mean-
so. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I got.
Well, I was gonna say he was saying it's so amazing the fact that he was who he was in this prison, giving lectures to educate these people about what our government is. You know, it's like
And it
our,
and I think it worked a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Sally.
Happy birthday,
Russ
Sally.
Harrington is watching. Hello, Russ.
Hello, Russ. Yeah, they must be on your feed. They're not on mine. So, anyway.
Yeah, you don't have any friends, so
And they're not
I
showing up
did I
on
say that
our
out loud?
main
That's my
feed.
bad.
You did,
my
but
bad.
that's okay. Again, you can say whatever you want. I won't be
Friends.
offended. So,
You got
but, yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There was one thing that you almost got me pissed off about, but I can't remember.
So, Russ, in case you don't know, you just joined us. This is my wife, Dulcie, to my left here. And
yeah, that's
yep.
her over
so,
there, over there, right there,
yeah,
right there.
yeah, over there. That's her right there. Yeah. And she truly is a
Oh,
woman.
God.
She just doesn't think she is one. She truly is one. So there you go.
Oh, my God.
As we
I don't even want to go down that road.
Wow. Okay,
Wow,
now.
that's- just
I
starting
really
shit
don't know
in
what
the
that
show.
means either.
Man,
I really don't
Well,
know what that
I'll be
means.
getting a call
But I'm glad
tomorrow.
he
Hey.
knows.
can you come visit your brother? He's in the hospital. I think he needs help.
Oh,
I'm not
so
gonna
speaking
help
of
anymore.
transgender and all that bullshit. So there's a picture I posted on Facebook about the new Secretary of
Oh,
Health,
yes.
Robert F. Kennedy, next to the old Secretary of Health, some man who thinks he's a woman. Which one do you think is better? I mean, come on, man.
That guy is
You know?
built, man. I mean, that's a guy who's healthy
He is.
and taking care of himself. And I'm not. I am no
Yeah.
way
And
attracted to that
he's
type of
not
thing at all,
perfect
but
by
you
no
gotta
means.
admit
He has his problems. There's no doubt about
Right,
it. But he's way
right.
better than this idiot who's in there right
Oh, my
now. I'll tell you
gosh.
that.
Well, I mean, think about what's going to happen. They're going to get rid of all the fluoride in our water. They're going to get rid of all the sprays they're putting on all our wheat crops. So they're going to make our food
Hopefully.
better, right? They're going to get rid of all
Yeah.
this bullshit dyes that every other country in the world doesn't allow in their foods, but they allow it in America. And the funny thing is, like
Right.
General Mills makes the same like Fruit Loop cereal for overseas without the dyes, but in America they leave the dyes in it. It's like, well, it's illegal overseas. Why wouldn't you make it the same for the American people? oh, well, they might not like the bright colors, or the lack of the bright colors. You know what? If it's healthier, they're probably gonna love it, right?
It's all about the money, brother.
Money.
All
Yep.
about the money.
But they're spending more money to make it a worse product. That's the thing I don't understand, because it's got to cost some money.
Well,
to
they
add the
think
red
they're
dye and
selling
yellow
more
dye
of
and
it
all that
because
stuff.
they're spending the extra money, though. That's what they think.
Yeah, you
And
might
it
be
could
right.
be true.
I
Like
don't
little kids. If you look at the 2 Fruit Loops box, the ones without color, ones with colors. What's a little
Well,
kid
they-
gonna choose?
It still has color. Don't misunderstand me. It still has color. It just doesn't have the brilliant colors of the Fruit Loops that's sold.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. So
and
you look at the
other
one with
materials are
the
the
dull
same.
colors and the brilliant colors.
Yeah.
You look at the one with the dull colors and the brilliant colors. Which one's the little kid gonna choose? And that's what they're thinking. I took my earphones out.
This kind of begs a question. I'll let you get your headset in. This kind of begs a question.
Go ahead.
If children are so easily swayed with the color of the different cereals, why on earth would we let them have a sex change? I mean,
Because
it's
they want
not
to.
rocket
That's just
science.
crazy.
It's not rocket
No.
science. Come on, man. A
I've said this
4-year-old or
many times
8-year-old or
before.
teenager does not have the ability to make those types of decisions in their
I-
life. Go ahead.
I've said this many times before, way before this stuff even happened.
Yeah.
Teenage boys, especially, but teenagers
Oh
in
my
general,
God.
are some of the most stupid people on earth. Okay,
Yeah.
and that doesn't
Yep.
mean they're not intelligent. It means
Right.
they make stupid decisions.
Yeah.
They think stupid stuff. They don't have and it's not they're stupid. They're inexperienced. Okay, they
Right.
don't have the experience to make decisions correctly. And now you want to let them just say, "Oh, you know what? I'm not liked very much around here, but if I get a sex change, everyone will like me. So I'm going to get sex change."
Yeah.
You know.
And
So-
like my brother said, it's not that they're stupid, but I mean, think about it. When you were a teenager, you felt like you were invincible. Like there's nothing you couldn't
Right.
do. I mean, have you seen these
Right.
videos on Instagram or YouTube or wherever it is? They show this is what we did in the 80s when we were kids, and they show these kids no bike helmets, banana seats, or jumping
Right.
4-foot ramps over their friends. It's like
Mhm.
this is what we did.
I
as
think
kids.
we can
did
lay
all
one more
kinds of-
friend down there. I can get it. I know I can. So let's
I'm
put
pretty
one
sure
more
I can
guy.
make that extra person. I cleared that
I'm
first. I
sure
cleared
I
that
can.
last person by at least one person. So, okay,
Yeah.
I'll lay down there. I'll be the guy.
I'll
You-
do it. Yeah, let's do it, man.
Oh my gosh.
Coming back to today, I think it was
Today.
really today with Trump and Biden. I just love that interaction. I don't care who say what. I think it was.
It was
really-
great. It's
Yeah.
a very bad day. Very bad day for election, but today is going to be a very good day. It's going to be the best day ever. Nobody's ever going to
Best
see
day
a day
ever.
like today.
Best day ever.
Today is the best day ever. Yes, sir.
Best day ever. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, I can make fun of him. I don't care. You know, if
Absolutely.
you can't take making fun of him, then you shouldn't be in the presidency.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. And
And
But,
you know,
yeah,
like I started
anyway.
to say, he's got, my brother and I have complained about, our government before, where both the Republicans and Democrats had full control of the House, full control of the Senate, and they're the president of the United States, and they've done absolutely nothing. Donald Trump is going to have a majority Senate, probably a majority House, and he is going to have the ability to make some serious changes in our country. And I hope one of the things that he does, besides just passing the president, what is it, the presidential edict, or what are those things called? Executive orders. Instead of passing an
Executive orders.
order, pass the executive order, and then make a law that says, look, first of all, we're going to enforce existing immigration law. Second of all, we're going to make immigration law more stringent and more, covering of our government, so people can say, well, our immigration laws are broken. You know what? You got 2 years to fix it, buddy. Shut the border down, and then get some legislation in there and pass some legislation, do whatever it is that you think is necessary to fix our immigration laws, because you have control.
Right.
And the American people,
Right.
by popular vote, gave him control. So it's not like, well, he
Right.
doesn't have a he doesn't have a mandate. Baloney. He's got the mandate that Biden never even dreamed of having.
Right.
The other picture.
well, no,
I
and
didn't
you,
get
and you
of
say
that.
nothing ever got accomplished. I got to disagree with that, brother, because the Democrats had it and they got Obamacare. So there you go.
Yeah, and
It wasn't
there's-
good,
there's-
but they got it. Just say.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things about that that just totally frustrate the crap out of me. For 5 years, Republicans are complaining about Obamacare, right? And they finally get a president that will sign Obamacare, and John McCain votes against it. First of all, second of all, they have no idea what they're going to replace it with. It's like you've been bitching and moaning about this for 5 years, and you don't have a replacement
Right.
idea. Come on, pull your head out,
Right.
people. You guys are supposed to be the geniuses that are running this. Like, oh, Obamacare sucks. Okay, well, I'm not going to argue with you whether or not Obamacare sucks or not, but what do you have to replace it, right? And then Kamala Harris is like,
And,
well,
and
we're
this,
going to get
thi- and this is this is why I say Obamacare sucks. Okay, when it passed, okay. First off, it was about a book this big, and then
I was bigger, I
secondly,
think.
there were 2 states, and I don't remember the second one, but one was Louisiana. I remember they had to make changes to Obamacare so that those congressmen in their own party would vote for it,
Right.
and didn't give those changes to the rest of the country, just those 2 states. That's
did a lot
why
of
I
that.
say Obamacare sucks. Part,
They
part,
did a lot of
part
that. With
that's part of
Obamacare,
the
though.
reason.
That's a problem. Yeah.
No, that's
it-
it was 2 states. They had it all passed. 2 guys, 2 congressmen or 2 states congressmen. I don't remember how many it was. We're not going to vote for it because they didn't like certain things in it. So they changed certain things in it for those 2 states so that they would vote for it. And that's basically bribery. I'm bribing you to vote for this. That's what it is.
Right.
And that's why I was against it. Because I think, in reality, I think we could have central health care in the United States. I think it could happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Obamacare was a start. It's never gone any further than its start. That's where it's stuck. It's not going to get any bigger because the insurance companies make too much money to let that become law, where it's a national health care system. The insurance companies making too much money right now the way it is. So I don't know what the solution is, but I don't think Obamacare's it. That's my.
Well, Kamala Harris's solution was to abolish all private insurance. Just let the government take care of it. Because our government's so smart with everything.
And she can speak that out of her mouth all she wants. She would never get that through anything in Congress or
Right.
the Senate because too much money is involved.
Yeah, it's like a
So you're
federal
saying
mandate
it's
for
based on
abortion.
money. It's all financial.
What's that?
It's
Right.
for financial gain.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what it is.
Yeah.
Well,
And
insurance
it is. It
insurance is a
absolutely
racket. It
is.
truly is.
Pharmaceutical is the same thing now. I mean, they
Mhm.
all are in the same boat.
Yeah,
essentially.
exactly.
Well, what are
it's
the
terrible that
majority
they're
of
being
commercials on
allowed
television?
to monopolize? I'm
Right.
sorry.
Well, what are the majority of commercials you see on television? They're all pharmaceutical commercials.
Pharmaceutical and cars. That's what I see.
Yeah. Right, but it's like
I can't tell you because I don't watch television.
well, that's you're very smart for not watching television. I can say that as a matter of fact. But yeah, so I don't know. I think we have a huge. I think the Republican Party has a huge opportunity to make some huge changes in our country and in the world because there's a list that's going on.
Oh,
right
we
now
need to gain
about-
our confidence back in the world.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, it's
we
already
need-
been gained. That's the thing. I mean, China is saying that they want to have a better relationship with the U.S., so they're not going to
Come here,
attack Taiwan.
You can speak into the mic a
Russia's
little bit
saying
better.
that
No, it's
hey,
fine. He's hearing.
yeah, I can hear her. I can hear her. Russia's saying
There
that
we
they're going to, they're going to, they want to try to come up with a peace alternative for Ukraine. Ukraine's saying that they want to have peace. Hamas is saying that they want to have a better relationship. So they're probably going to. It's probably going to happen prior to Trump getting elected or sworn in. The remaining hostages will be returned to Israel. I can almost guarantee you that it'll be like Ronald Reagan days. Because if it doesn't happen, you know what's going over there, right? Our military is
Right.
going over there, and they're going to
Yeah.
wipe the crap out of those and bring those
And
hostages.
in
back.
reality, I don't understand why we already didn't do that. They have American hostages. We should not allow them to take American hostages. Plain and simple. I don't care.
I can tell
I don't
you
care
why.
whether you agree with Israel or not. But we need. Oh yeah, I know why.
There's two. It's a
but they
two-person
should've-
answer. Joe
It's
Biden
not
and Kamala
just
Harris.
Israelis. We have American citizens over there.
No,
it's
absolutely,
crazy
yeah.
that
Yeah,
that we
but
didn't
it's-
respond better than we did.
It's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris that are preventing it from happening.
Yeah.
That's the reality. There's no
Yeah.
other reason why. Because, like my brother said, there are U.S. hostages over there, right? And we're doing absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
I mean, we prior to the Obama administration or the Biden administration, we actually had a military that was the best in the world. I don't know what it is right now. I know that there's a lot of
They were saying there's
a
a
lot
big
of problems
deficit.
right now. Yeah, there's a
There's a
deficit
big
Yeah.
because, but
It's
the
definitely not as
morale-
strong as it was. That's for sure.
Yeah, and their morale is really down because of all the DEI
Mhm.
crap that's going on, So
Mhm.
those things can be fixed though. Those things can be fixed fast. Like when you have a strong person coming in and saying, "Look, anyone who is supporting DEI and publishing all these videos about how to have better communications and the my pronouns are X, Y, and Z and F bomb you and
Kids are
double
watching.
Johnny Cash you and all that stuff, all those people are going to be gone. They're literally going to be
Right.
removed from the military. They're
Well,
going to probably be asked,
There's a guy
to
on Fox.
resign or
There's a
get
guy on
fired.
Fox tonight. He had a great idea. All those people who were in the military that they told they had to get out because they wouldn't take the COVID shot, bring them back with a raise in rank and full back pay.
Full back
Give them
pay.
everything they've missed that they would have stayed in. Give them the time in service. Give them everything they've missed, and a lot of those people will come back. I guarantee you.
Well, I mean, I'm
Maybe.
gonna just say
Maybe.
this
Go ahead.
for myself. I am literally being forced
Yeah.
to take the flu shot if I want to continue putting food on my table.
Yes.
And this is
Yeah.
why healthcare is just wrong. People should have choices. And
I-
before COVID, we did have choice. Either you wear a mask or you take the flu shot. Now, there is no declination of the flu shot, pretty much, especially if you work for agencies. Certain hospitals have not mandated it yet, but it was kind of like, okay, you have by 11/11, either take the flu shot or you can't work.
Mm-hmm.
I thought though.
So,
that,
here
for
we go
women, it
again.
was- I thought though for women it was my body, my choice. What happened to that option?
I don't know
Yeah,
what happened
until-
to that option.
they
It doesn't
don't-
exist for
They
some
don't
of
think
us.
that across the board. It's just like anything else.
That
Like
part
believe in the
doesn't work,
science
right?
until they don't want you to believe in the
But
science.
the
Yeah.
healthcare providers, it does not
It-
apply.
this is the ridiculous part of our country and the thinking that goes on like this. They like you said, my body, my choice, my body, my choice. Well, no, it's only my body, my choice for that. It's not your body, your choice for this.
Right.
You know.
Right. Well, I
and
think RFK is
It's
going to have a
not.
lot to
It's,
say
it's,
about
it's
that.
not
though.
the whole body. Right. It's not.
I
the
think so
whole
too.
body.
And
Yeah.
and someone on my post today put up that if I like him, if I agree, because I put that post up
Oh
with
my
the
God.
old secretaries of
Yeah.
whatever,
The old,
whatever, and
yeah,
him
Deputy
I-
Secretary of Health or whatever. Yeah. The
Of
guy
health,
dressed
yeah,
as a
then I
woman,
put up
guy
him.
in drag, the
The
man
difference-
in drag.
the difference between them, and he said his said if you agree with this, what did he call him? He called him not an idiot, something like that.
I'll tell you.
Narcissist or rapist or
No, he called him an idiot, some kind of idiot,
No.
dumbass or something
No,
like.
it's a different thing.
Um,
If a buoyant. If you're buoyant on this nutjob, you're really on a different way.
if you've been, no, that's not it. Keep going.
They'll
Let's
find
do
it here, ladies and gentlemen. We got a small pause. But we're gonna find it. They'll be able to read you exactly
Here,
what
oh,
this,
nut job. He called him a nut
A
job.
nut job.
If you're
Nut job.
buoyant with this nut job, then we're different than I thought. And first I wrote back, I've been listening to Kendi for about a year now. Okay.
right.
And he's not perfect.
We talked
okay?
about it,
but
on
he's
this
not
show.
a nut
We talked
job.
about it in this
He,
show. Yeah.
he's not a nut job. Then I got thinking, and I put in there, you're gonna call him a nut job? Look at this other guy you've got in there. He's a man that thinks he's a woman, and he's not a woman.
Right. Yeah, but that's what
So
that's what
you're
they
gonna call
promote.
Kennedy a nut job? And that was my
Yeah.
point. Is well, he's a nut job, but this guy's okay.
Yeah.
Believe in science until it doesn't affect, until we don't want you to believe the science, and it's my body, my choice until we don't want it to be your body, your choice. It's
Right.
crazy how these people think. It truly is.
Well, he was asked at he was doing a speech somewhere, or like a interaction. RFK Jr. was, and he was asked about, well, what are we going to do to get you on our side for the vaccines? Because you're an anti-vaxxer, and he very calmly let the guy finish asking his question. He goes, first of all, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. He goes,
No, he's not.
the reality of it is, what is the efficacy of these vaccines? He said, I asked Dr. Fauci when I was working with Dr. Fauci under the first Trump administration, because Trump hired him to work with the NHS or whatever, the health place, right? And so he said, I asked Dr. Fauci, what is the efficacy of all these vaccines? 72 vaccines for kids. When they're kids, there's 72 vaccines, that
And they
they're
haven't been
supposed to take.
tested.
Right. There's
No,
no
those are like
efficacy.
Hep B.
There's no efficacy. There's no testing. And, because Dr. Fauci's like, well, yeah, I'll get the testing for you. And then it turns out he's like, well, we can't find the testing. And then when they sued for it, it turns out there is no testing. They're giving these shots to our kids, and there's no testing. There's no efficacy, to see whether or not it's going to cure the problem that they're giving it for.
Right.
Right.
And that's what he is. He's asking questions. He's not anti-vax. His kids are vaccinated.
Yeah.
He's not anti-vax. He's anti-stupidity, is what he is.
It's that common sense thing. That common sense.
Yeah.
But then again
Go ahead,
goes the pharmaceuticals making money. And
So
being
much money
allowed
in it.
to
Nobody
make
asked the
money,
question.
And everybody who's got shares in it and stocks, and they're getting kickbacks. It comes down to that. And should we not say that? I don't know.
I will say this: our Secret Service better protect him and Donald Trump and JD Vance like they've never protected anybody before. Because my feeling is, with the amount of money they're trying to take out of the pockets of these very, very rich people, somebody's going to come after them. That's what I think.
But that was the argument, that he was going to make the rich richer and make the poor poorer.
But he's not.
What,
That's the point.
now?
See, and that's the thing the Democrats do. They blame you and call you things that they're doing themselves. Right. That way, if it's like the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I'm going to tell you you're a narcissist or you're a misogynist when I'm the misogynist. I'm going to tell you you're acting like a Hitler when I'm the one acting like Hitler.
Right.
And that's what they do.
Right. So here's something you may or may not have known. I heard this today. Do you know that when Dr. Fauci was leaving the venue of being the most revered doctor in the world, and he retired, right? Do you know that the U.S. government is paying for his security detail, a bodyguard, armored car, and his security detail? We're currently paying $750,000 a month to protect this clown. That's what we're paying right now.
Why?
700.
Why is he
Also, when he retired, he was the highest paid government employee in our country.
Right.
I mean, he's not as if he has a status per se, but
no, they're afraid. They're afraid
try to take him out. And I would never suggest that or condone that. My brother and I are on the same page with that.
But I'm just
like,
saying,
seriously,
why would you
$750,000 a month?
I'm hoping that they can eventually,
once
Trump gets in there, and eventually they look into things, that we can protect him in a much cheaper way in jail. So yeah,
that's exactly where I was going. Yeah, I know where we can protect him in about an 8x8 cell.
Yep.
Solid.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah,
a lot
cheaper. Yeah. So
we can pay some tax dollars to make sure he gets fed.
Well, because he made a shit ton of money off the vaccine.
Right.
This guy's making $495,000 a year, and he's worth $11 million because he invested in the vaccine, which he told you to take. Which he said if you didn't take, you're a bad person, and blah 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 blah, on and on and on.
You should be put in jail and ostracized. And
so he's the one that should be charged with. I don't even know what the charge would be. I don't even know what it would be. But there's got to be something that he did illegal there. That's all I'm thinking.
Let's come up with a charge.
Let's make a charge. Fauci sucks charge. Let's do that.
I think that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy will see that as a government expense is no longer necessary. That's all I can say.
As a challenge, right?
Yeah, I'm sure we can save billions of dollars on this thing, over the period of his remaining life, So.
Well, I had
Yeah.
a conversation with somebody the other day, and this person told me that something about Trump was responsible for the pandemic and blah blah blah, and Fauci did this and whatever. And I forgot to explain to this
China.
that Trump did everything Fauci asked him
Yeah,
to do.
because he
At
didn't
the
want to
beginning of
have
the
that
pandemic.
that
Everything.
tension. Didn't want to have that tension or that attack because he wasn't
And
listening and
whatever
believing
Trump's first
Dr.
thing he
Fauci.
did was he cut off travel to China, and all the Democrats called him a xenophobic.
Xenophobic.
and we're-
Xenophobic.
Nancy Pelosi goes down to Chinatown in San Francisco. Oh, look, the
No-
Chinese people are great.
No mask. No
the
mask,
Chinese people
nothing.
are great. You know
Yeah.
what? The Chinese people are great. But if this is where the virus is coming from, let's stop it right now. You know, they're just stupid. Oh my God.
There's no common sense. That's the problem. And what we're getting back with the government of Donald Trump is going to be a master class in common sense. I mean, like we're
Ramos
talking
Lucy
about.
is watching. Hello.
All right,
Yes.
welcome.
Hi, Ricardo.
$36 trillion in deficit. I mean, it's like, and we're doing currently. This is really kind of insane if you think about it. $4 trillion budget for this year. This is the American government or the American people pay $4 trillion into the government to let it run, right? The government's spending $6 trillion this year. $6 trillion.
Right.
I know that I only get $4 trillion in, but I think I want to spend $6. Like
I think $1 trillion of that is interest on the $36 trillion. I
it
think
isn't yet, but it will be soon. You know,
it's close to that anyway. You know.
But the fact is, they're doing absolutely nothing to curb the spending. Oh well, we
Right.
had $400 million last year to spend in this agency, so we should get $450 million this year. No, you know what?
Yeah.
You're not going to get $400 million this year. You're going to get $390.
Well,
million.
you know,
you better
Jeff,
figure out how to live on
that
it.
with the inflation the way it is, to keep the 400 million, they have to get 450 just to break even. So they're not really getting a raise.
I think my heart rate's going up. I have to check this. My face is getting red. I'm
Get
getting
your,
all
get your
flustered.
blood pressure machine up.
Holy crap. Oh, 400 and
Oh.
over 200. Wow, that's pretty good. I hope I can live past that day.
Hope you make it to the end of the podcast, anyways.
Yeah, Dulcie, what do I do when my blood pressure is 400 over 200? I got to settle down a little bit. Huh?
Get
Oh,
on your
my
knees
gosh.
and pray. That's what you would do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you'd be talking to me, that's for sure.
Sure, probably right. My
I
eyes
don't
be
think you'll
popping
be
out of
any
my head,
state.
probably. Yeah.
You'd be
Yeah.
on the floor.
You look like Shifty Chip.
Meeting your maker at some point.
Very shortly, I'm sure. Maybe I could push for that. No, I mean, so talking about God, throwing in God and the Maker in there. You know, we are all three of us believers in Jesus Christ, and we love Jesus, we love God, and our ultimate hope is in Jesus Christ, not in Donald Trump or our current government. But we do have a responsibility in our current situation to try to help and encourage our government to do the right thing, right? And one of the things that our government has been lacking in the last 4 years is an ability to, have prayer, right? To pray, to ask Jesus to come.
Well,
in and
look,
help,
they've
right?
removed, they wanted, I don't know exactly, but they didn't want prayer in schools.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not even the Legion, the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they longer hang up the flag every morning and take it down at schools.
Yeah,
All
I
that
don't know
stuff,
if they do it, if they have the
you
flag
know.
in classrooms anymore.
In
Kids are
classrooms,
not
I don't
being
think they do,
taught
but
that.
Yeah. Yep.
They got the gay pride flag in there, but not the
The
American
kids
flag.
aren't.
Good
The
evening,
kids
Rainbow
aren't doing
Blues.
the kids aren't doing the Pledge of Allegiance like we used to when we were kids. That's one of the reasons that my brother and I decided to do the Pledge of Allegiance before every show, because we
Right.
need to show people.
Right.
that,
Right.
look, we make a commitment to the Constitutional Republic of the United States of America. That's what
Right.
we are. You know.
And
So,
I was
yeah.
telling Dulcie about this. I'm glad we're seeing on commercials. I've only seen it on Fox News. I don't know if it's other places, but I did see it in the football game the other day too. Actually, where people are getting on, like there's who's that guy that was on tonight that was doing the prayer?
Oh,
Graham. Graham was on tonight asking you to pray with him. And of course,
Billy Graham's
and
son.
of course, my feeling is with
Billy
him,
Graham.
then call this number and you're going to give some money. But at least he's on there telling you to pray.
But
But the other guy is the actor. He's always on there. Will you pray with me?
Yeah,
Mark
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see these commercials on there to get people to recognize
Yeah.
the power of prayer.
well, it's a
Even
great-
if they only reach a few people here and there,
Well,
eventually it could be a lot of people.
according
you know?
to according to your favorite White House secretary, to bring it
mean
to
Jean
top of
Pierre?
mind,
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
to bring it to
Sean
top,
Claude Van-
to bring God to top of mind, right?
Top of
You
mind.
wanna- top of mind.
Top of mind.
Top of
Yeah, bring it to
mind.
top of
Top
mind.
of mind.
It's top of mind. It
But
was top of mind.
that's-
It was top of mind.
That's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand about, let's say, Tennessee, because we're here.
Oh
And
my
it's
God.
like, you go, God bless you. Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed
Almost
day.
everywhere you go, you
And
hear
it
that.
doesn't matter
Yeah.
color, race.
No.
It's just a thing. And
I love
they
Tennessee.
smile with it. They smile with you. And I'm like, you know, I got New Yorker. Oh my God, they're smiling.
Like we're
What
going.
the hell?
Our granddaughter's coming in on Friday, going to spend the weekend with us, and we're taking her to Dollywood. And Jeff and I and Kathy and Dulcie went to Dollywood. We've been to Dollywood a couple times this year. Besides that, it's just such a nice place to be. It's not like Disney where everything is so commercial, and it's not that it's not commercial, but the people there are more friendly. Always are saying "Have a blessed day," and just look like
And
they're
no one's
happy
in a
to be there.
rush. Like,
And
no
we
one's in
talk
a
to them,
rush.
and they say
Right.
that the management at Dolly Parton treats them great.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right.
and they
Yeah.
love working there and all this, and it shows. And it's a great place to live. We're so glad we moved here. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, to go back to bringing back prayer and teaching anybody who wants to know about God or, you know, higher power, whatever you choose to call it, I think it's definitely needed
Jesus
Yes.
in a
Christ.
society.
I think I miss that
Absolutely.
tremendously in our country right now.
So neat.
We miss it
So
tremendously.
and to be kind. I think people are forgetting, even if you're kind, there's no need why you shouldn't be kind.
Right.
I'm
You-
probably
you can be
the
poor, you
number
can
one
be
guilty
kind.
of that in this show right now, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't know about that, but-
my brother and sister
I'll be
in law can attest
perfect.
to that. All they have to do is listen to me.
Well,
when
we
I'm
heard
driving
you on the
around.
road today. What?
Exactly.
You weren't really kind then.
Yeah.
What? Is he burning tires?
That's just my cold air injection in the great state of California. So,
Be
gets me better
kind.
gas
Remember,
mileage, I
next
know that,
time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be kind.
I'm kind.
Well, you won't have that. You won't have that
I
truck
mouth-
much longer in California. You're gonna have to get an electric car here.
Yeah, the
pretty soon, so-
EV truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even get me started.
Just
man.
thought-
It's-
Oh, there goes his blood pressure again.
Yeah. The California Air Resources Board, CARB, you know, because we used to have carbs on our cars, you know. The California
Yeah,
Air
there you go.
Resources Board has been given autonomy by our current left-wing, leftist government in California with a left-wing Democrat governor, Gavin Newsom, as Donald Trump says, and all the other left-wing radical Democrats in the House and the Senate in the state of California. They gave the CARB the autonomy to do what they want. So CARB was meeting the other day for over 8 hours to talk about how can they lower emissions. Well, you know, one way you can lower emissions is if you raise the tax on gas. So we're just going to add a
Yep.
45 to 65 cent a gallon tax on gas. And
But California already
insane.
has the highest price of gas in the country, and not even
Right.
close. And now they're
Right.
going to raise it 45 to 65 cents more.
But I'm just
On
gonna
top of
say
that.
something that
Come to Tennessee. Come
No,
to Tennessee.
you guys like Elon Musk. He gives great
Yeah.
deals on the Teslas. Bramlin can attest to that.
Yes, Bramlin has a
He has
Tesla.
a
He loves it.
beautiful
I
Tesla.
have no problem with Tesla. It's an awesome looking car.
But the deals
Uh,
are amazing and
but-
tempting.
I don't want to have to buy one. That's my point.
right,
I
exactly.
want to be able to buy whatever I want. And Bramlin didn't feel like he was forced to buy one. he bought
No,
one
he
because
just
he wanted
liked
it.
it. He liked it.
So
But
yeah.
So
They got good
just,
deals. So again, Elon Musk might, you know, I don't know.
Just out of
talking
curiosity,
about
just out of curiosity, what did Bramlin pay for his Tesla? Because I know what Teslas cost. They're
I-
not cheap.
I don't know right off the top
I'm
of my
not
head.
sure, but I do know
He got a good deal on
They're giving
Yeah.
people good deals in New York like up to $8,000 off, blah blah blah. Then you get this, and his was customized.
Yeah,
So,
he had to wait like a month and a half to get his
Yeah,
because he got it
yes.
exactly the way he wanted it.
Yeah.
Did he get the ugly?
He
looking
must
truck
have
or
some
what?
shmoney. Gremlin, you got some shmoney. I know you do.
Got some shmoney.
So again, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, they were both money guys, but they don't align with everything that you want.
Well, they're
right?
business people,
No,
and they're going to go in and look at the government like a business, and they're going to cut out
Hopefully.
all the fat and get rid of the people and
Yeah.
One
the
can hope.
programs that
Because-
are doing diddly.
One can
even
hope.
Elon
One can
Musk
hope, yeah.
says. Even Elon Musk says, I don't think that you have to get a EV car. He goes,
Yeah.
you should have the alternative to buy what you want and what works. There's nothing right now that says
Right.
the only thing that you should be able to drive is an electric car, especially in the great state of California because they don't have the grid to cover it, to power it. They proved that
He
last
said that?
spring. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right after he made the mandate in California that by 2030 you're going to have
Yeah.
an electric car.
Well, didn't
2
he
days
also
later,
said
he
that in
asked
New
the
York?
people with electric cars not to charge them because it
Yeah.
was too
Because they don't
high
have
and the
enough
power
power
grid
on
couldn't
grid.
handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's a
Imagine
genius.
if you
So,
ask.
yeah,
Imagine
But
if
the
you add a
people in
million-
California don't even understand that. They just keep voting for this fool.
Well, so just to kind of stand up for the people of California, the people that are
Oh,
voting for him are
wow.
the people
Except
that are
for-
voting for him. The people that are voting for him are in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Diego. In
I
San
love San
Diego, they're
Francisco.
getting
I think
fewer,
it's
fewer,
amazing
fewer and
city.
fewer. It is well. You might want to come down and see it because a lot of shit is happening in Los Angeles.
I did
just like in
what
San
2 years
Francisco.
ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, about 2 years.
And in this last election, California did turn towards red. Not enough,
Yeah.
but it's a start. You can't just go from 0 to 60 without hitting 30, 40, and 50. So hopefully
Right.
that'll keep changing. And I always tell my brother this: I don't like one party rule. I don't think anywhere should have one party rule.
right.
California has it, New York has it, and now our country has it. And our country has it the opposite of California and New York. And California and New York are flipping out because our country has a full right government. And although I don't like it, I think this is needed for a little while. But
Yeah.
hopefully it'll bring it back to where we can get everything together and we can start working together and both sides see commonality and work together. I'm hoping that's what we'll get to eventually. Who knows what it'll be.
But do you guys
but-
not think that just maybe a couple of the positions Trump should go bipartisan and be like, hey,
Well, he's taking Kennedy.
Kennedy was
Yeah.
independent.
No, but he was
Yeah,
a Democrat until they wouldn't let him run the election.
Tulsi Gabbard. was
Tulsi
a
Gabbard
Democrat.
kind of swapped up.
But
She
he actually
she
changed to
changed.
Republican.
So
Right.
I mean,
Right, but
you know, to
but
be
the reality
bipartisan
is-
and show we're willing to work with the other side,
Right.
because it
Tulsi-
takes a bigger leader to do something.
Tulsi
like that,
Gabbard would have
right?
been a great Democratic candidate. She would have been.
yeah,
I said this
She
right from
was-
the last time when they
was
kicked
in
her out.
2016.
Yeah.
She was in 2016 or
Yeah.
2020 or whenever it was. She was running against she's running against Joe Biden and she was running against Kamala Harris. So it was 2020, right? So
Right,
Tulsi Gabbard crushed Kamala Harris on the stage about her track record as
Yes,
being
she did.
law enforcement officer in the great state of California, and how
Mhm.
she totally abolished a bunch of stuff. She broke the law many times, and she was forced to do stuff that she didn't want
Yeah.
to do because she wanted to have free labor from the California penal system and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're
Tulsi
making the
Gabbard
prisoners
crushed her in that.
fight fires and they're not paying them.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's
so,
crazy.
I mean, Tulsi Gabbard totally crushed her on that. I think, and at the time, I told my brother, I said, "Look, I would vote for her. Right? I think she's a great candidate. You know, she was a very
Mhm.
strong."
I don't ever remember you saying that, brother. I'm just
We
saying.
gotta
I
record
told-
next
I told
time.
Hey,
you
next
that.
time I'm recording it.
Well, that's your fault, not mine. But I told you, I said she's a person I would vote for because she's not your typical Democrat. She's a person who's thinking
Right.
about stuff. She's got a thought brain in her head that says, "Hey, is this a smart thing for us to do or a bad thing for us to do?" Right?
And because she was thinking out of the box, they got rid of her.
Yeah,
That was what happened.
They
with
basically
Tulsi,
took away all her committees and didn't give her any funding
Yep.
to run for re-election, and she decided not to run for
Yep.
But
re-election.
note that
But they
even
basically kicked her out. They
even in
ostracized her.
families, even in your work, if you think outside the box, people have a problem with that.
And in
Everybody has
reality,
a problem with
She
that.
wasn't really thinking outside the box. She was thinking like an older Democrat, like a
Yeah,
Kennedy Democrat.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
That's the
was
kind of
thinking
thought process
outside
she
of
was
that
having.
box.
And they didn't
Yeah,
like
she's-
that because
Yeah.
they want men swimming in pools with girls and in their locker rooms, and tampons in boys' bathrooms, and EV cars for everybody, and immigrants coming in just when they feel like it. And she
Well,
wasn't that person, so they got rid of her.
Well, don't
What
get
did
me
the-
started on the immigrant thing because I
What did
am
the
one. And I
what
can
did the
talk
American
about
population
oh,
say about
no.
that?
what
What did the American
Oh,
population
about-
say about that? All that whole agenda, the
they
Democrats?
voted. They
Yeah.
didn't want it. They didn't want it.
Yep.
Right there.
So
You know,
you know, and I agree. People should come in like I did, like everybody did. I don't
Yeah.
agree that they should be getting. I mean, we had this
The pro-
debate recently with someone, and it's a young mind, and I think living in a liberal state also plays a big part on young kids' minds
Right.
because they're only seeing that part of it,
Right.
right? And
Well,
if-
the schools are teaching that.
and if
part,
you
too.
don't have exposure to say, hey, look at this side, think outside the box, you're not. And I had to explain, I'm
And
an
that-
immigrant, I am that, and I went through the system.
So
And
The-
I
the
don't
one-
agree with anything.
the
they're
one
doing
good thing
right
about
now.
COVID that came about is we learned what our schools were teaching our kids,
Right.
and
Right.
we were not happy with that. Immigration coming in, the problem with letting anybody in who feels like coming in, let's just say 95%, 99% of the people that come in are good people. Okay,
You have that
there's
one.
so there's 20 million people that come in. So 1% of those people are thieves and gangsters and whatever, gang members. So what's 1% of 2 million? What is
20
that?
million.
Two-
You said
right?
20 million.
20 million. That's 1% of 20 million is what, 200,000?
Yeah.
So 200,000 people came into our. That's if it's 1% came into our country that are murderers, rapists, gang
Which
members.
we have experienced
Yeah.
already.
So
right?
yes.
Poor families and
So it's not to keep the good people out. It's to keep the bad people out.
Right.
I think our immigration system needs to be fixed, and we need to let more people in. We need to make it a little faster for all of them, and we need to put the money into it. Instead of spending $6 million to find out what the mating habits of a butterfly is when it's on cocaine, let's put that $6 million towards immigration and get people in here quickly and that are motivated to help our country.
was that a real study?
It was a real thing. I keep bringing it up. It's real.
I know. I've heard
$6 million. The Democrats put in a bill to find out the mating habits of the butterfly when they're on cocaine.
and they're relating a butterfly to humans.
I don't know what
What
they're
are
doing.
they
No,
relating
what
it
they're
to?
doing is their buddy gets the thing. He does a little research, spends $100,000, and he gets $5.9 million to put in his pocket. That's what.
Snorts a little coke.
Wow,
Snorts
I'm
a little
look-
coke, and then says how's it going.
Yeah.
So, hey, so
It-
I don't know if
it-
you
it's
heard
just
today.
crazy.
Another thing that because Dulcie mentioned about how our schools are indoctrinating kids and all this stuff, and they're having a big influence. Donald Trump announced today that he's going to get rid of the school accreditations. He's going to fire all the people and then take applications for new people to do accrediting in these schools because the schools have failed us on our education system, and therefore
course.
you're going
There's
to have
a
a
lot
new,
of crap going on.
yeah. So I mean, think about it. He's not going after the schools. He's going after accreditation. Look, you don't have accreditation anymore, right? Because your school
Right.
sucks. Oh, you're
Well, do
hard.
you
Yes.
remember
What do
he
you-
had
what
a
do you teach your
university
kids?
that didn't
Mhm.
wasn't accredited? He
Yeah.
had a university that wasn't accredited, and that's why they keep bringing it up. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
Well, you
think
can
the
learn from your
reality is-
mistakes too. So,
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's what he's doing, because he's a narcissist, and I don't think he learns from his mistakes. But at least he's trying to. But I agree with him trying to do this. No matter what his reasoning is, I don't care.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
doing this because it's a good thing
want
to do.
better education for the American public. You don't want them spending $80,000 a year for an education so that they can say that they know how to, what the main
Oh, no, so that they can
benefits
close
of
the
butterflies
school
on
for a day.
cocaine is.
because No, they can close the school a day and the teachers don't have to show up because they're in their feelings.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Donald Trump won the election, so we're going to give you a safe space.
You
That's
need
not bringing up adults. That's
I think
that's
Jeff needs a
raising
safe
children to
space
keep
right
being
now.
children. What's that?
I think he needs
Yeah.
safe space.
Yeah, something. I need something.
Uh,
Need something.
So
But yeah,
again,
it's-
your parents are paying $80,000, and I know of a couple of my coworkers, and their kids was told, yeah, there'll be no classes today because the teachers
Donald
won't
Trump
be
won.
there.
Yeah.
Or some of the students are not coming. So yeah,
But
you
see,
know,
they
and,
did it both
and,
ways.
and then
They did it both ways. They were giving the
Yeah.
students the opportunity, and then some of the teachers like, you know, I'm just not going to go to work
Teachers,
tomorrow.
yep.
I need a mental
Yep.
health day. You know, it's like
I need my safe space.
seriously. What
And here's the
planet
thing.
do you
Here's-
live on that you need a mental health day because the person you wanted to be elected didn't win? So did we claim?
But
that
Here's the
4
thing-
years
here's the
ago
thing
when
about-
Trump lost. Go ahead.
yeah,
But think about it.
here's the
Even
thing-
healthcare workers couldn't have a safe
It-
space day. We
yeah.
have to be there no matter what.
Here's the thing about mental health, and these people like there was that one tennis player. She needed time off to be mental health because she couldn't take the stress of being in
On
the
the
tournament.
young girl.
Yeah, the young girl. And that's fine. If you need it, you take it. But don't make her into a champion because she did it. Because it's okay that she did it, but don't make her this brave person because she asked for help. No, you're not. She's not a brave person. Okay.
Right.
But she should get the help. You don't do that because now these people think like this. Oh my gosh. I'm having a little bad day. I need a mental health day. I'm going to take a day off.
Naomi Osaka.
So, yeah, Naomi
Naomi
Osaka.
Osaka.
That's who it was. Yes, Naomi Osaka.
Oh.
And I think she's a great tennis
Never heard
player,
of
and I
her.
like her. And I think she should have taken the time off. But don't tell me she's a brave young woman because she asked for time off. No, that's not what brave people do. That's not what they do. And they're making this whole deal where everyone gets a trophy. And you know, if you want to be a woman, you can be a woman, even if you're a man. If you want to be a cat, you can be a cat, even if you're a man or a girl or whatever. You
I'm
know?
not so sure, but
Yeah.
okay.
So-
That'd be a
No,
little
but,
impossible.
I mean, they were
No, they
putting
actually had
litter
people
boxes-
doing that. They're putting litter boxes in the
boxes
school so they
school
could pee in the litter
bathrooms.
boxes because they said they were
oh, I
cats.
did hear
Again.
about that. A
Oh
while
my
ago,
gosh.
But
They're furries.
This is all
Furries.
ridiculous, and this
They're
is what
furries,
this is
yeah.
why I am no
Right.
longer a Democrat because they support this bullshit. Okay, whether they push it or not, I don't know, but they support it. It's okay. If a person says they're a cat, you got to get them a litter box. No, if a person says they're a cat, I need to get them mental health. That's what I need to get them, and that's it. Period.
Did you hear the one where the kid says to his mom and dad at the kitchen table,
Oh,
I'm gonna identify as a furry. So they're like, what? Yeah, I'm gonna now identify as a cat. Really? You identify as a cat? You sure you want to do that? Yeah, I want to identify as a cat. So you need to feed me in a bowl. Well,
give 'em
if
cat
you need to
food.
get fed in a bowl, then you get fed on the floor. And oh, by the way, all of our cats get spayed or neutered. So next up tomorrow,
We're taking you to bed tomorrow, and how do you like that now? Yeah, let's see how they choose that now.
Well, in some of the current people in our society be like, well, yeah, that'd be the start of my transgender change. I get a sex operation, get my chop.
Some of our people in our country need to be spayed or neutered. I'm just saying.
Hey, all of the women in
I
this
know.
two different movements are saying that they're no longer going to have sex with men for the next 4 years. I'm like, well, you know,
Okay.
my body, my
All
choice.
right.
Well, then who made the statement? I wish I could remember. There's a guy who made a statement on Instagram. He said, "Your body, my choice. I don't want to have your body." So there you go.
There you
Oh,
go.
Well, that's sexist.
There you go.
Well, wait a minute. You can say it's your body, your choice. You don't want to have sex with men. Why can't I say your body, my choice? I don't want to have sex with you. You know.
Well, on that note, and I'm gonna say this, because yes, your body, your choice. But as a woman, and I've been an OB for a while, what I got from that is that I was talking to Rick about it. I said, yes, we talk about abortion, and yeah, it is your right, it is your choice. Nobody's telling you no.
Right.
But I got from that, I took away the fact that they're making it such a point where that is going to be used as birth control. Like,
Right.
no, how about you start taking care of your body? How about, so you don't have to get to that point to make that choice. Now, don't get me wrong, rape, incest, yes, you got my blessing. You can do whatever you want. Okay, nobody should abuse you in any form.
Right.
But for those,
And
for
there's
those
usually-
who are safe, secure, and know about, there's a lot of birth control for free out there. There's a lot of things, whether or not it's against your religion, but whatever it may be. But I was getting the feeling when I kept hearing it, because I listened to Texas, different places about to women and listened to them, but they made it sound as if it was all about, that was kind of like birth control. And I'm like, maybe these people need, again, education, right? Yes, it is your body. Yes, it is. But that should not be what it is about.
So what's that comedian's name? Bill something.
Mayor?
No. Bill
Uh,
Barr?
Bill Maher. Bill Maher.
Bill
I don't think it
Barr.
was Bill Maher that said that. Bill Maher.
No, Bill Barr. B-A-R-R.
Barr.
Bill.
I don't
He's a redheaded
know.
guy. Now he's bald.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
Anyways,
I-
what he had a great statement. He did this in his comedy routine. Actually, he goes, abortion's a thing, and I look at it like this. Now, women, you're saying it's your body, your choice. You're right. It's your body, your choice, and it's also killing another human being. It's both. So
Yes.
if you
Yeah.
can live with that, then I guess it is. And I thought that was a great point. Bill Maher. No, Bill. What's his name? I'll
don't
figure it
know.
out.
Anyway.
But
Yeah, so it's.
I mean,
it's
I don't want to
interesting
go
that-
down that road, but there is a number of different ways. But I just felt like no one was saying the truth. Like, we also have
Bill Burr.
We don't even have to base it on your body, your choice. Yes, it is. Everybody, it's their body, their choice.
right.
What you eat is who you are. You hear all about that, right? So let's protect ourselves so we don't have
Right.
to go down that road.
And there can be sensible laws, and there are places that there are sensible laws, and the Democrats are calling these places where abortion is restricted. Okay, there's one place, and I can't think of the state exactly which one it was, but there's one place they had a 20-week ban on abortion, and the Democrats, when they were talking about, threw that into the one of Trump's states where abortion is banned.
Right.
Okay, because they ban it after 20 weeks, they're saying it's banned. That's what they're saying. So when you hear these people saying, because of Roe v. Wade, there's all these states where abortion is banned. There's really only, I
There's a limit.
think there's
They
only
put a limit.
there's either 2 or 3 states right now where abortion is banned after 6 weeks, which is really hard to get figure
Yeah.
out by then.
Yeah.
Right.
Other than that, other people have a longer times, and it's more. But they're calling anybody who restricts anything
And let me
as
just,
a restricted
let me
state.
just
Even
say
so, I
this.
guess if I put 8 months on there, you can't. They're going to call that a Trump abortion restricted state too, because you can't do it in the 9th month. I don't know.
but let me just say this. My problem with all of this too is that protect the kids from being raped, molested,
Yes.
incest, from both boys and girls. Protect them, because it's not right now. You're gonna put them through that process.
J.D. Vance
It's
said
really
that
not right.
in his Spotify interview with how's the spot again?
Was it
Mhm.
Sean Ryan? Or with
No,
Tucker
the guy that
Carlson?
Trump went on.
Tucker
No, the
Carlson?
guy that Trump went on. No, the guy that Trump
Sean-
went on just
Sean-
recently.
Trump went on Sean Ryan's show.
No, the one that
Sean
was big.
Hannity.
The one that the
Oh, Joe
Spotify
Rogan.
guy.
Joe
Oh,
Rogan.
Joe Rogan. So
Yeah.
Vance was on Joe Rogan, and he actually said the same thing. Us as Republicans can't just say we don't want abortion. We have to come up with a plan to take care of the children,
Right.
so that women don't say I don't want an abortion
Right.
because I
Right.
can't afford it. That can't get
It
that.
can't be
reason.
birth control.
Yeah. So yeah, you can be birth control, education, so you
Right.
can get birth control, all these things. Because in reality, like Dulcie says, there are women in New York City who use use abortion as birth control. They just go out and have sex, and when they get pregnant, they have an abortion. That's what they do.
But I'm gonna say that back in the days, but once they got educated and they knew that there were methods and prevention,
Right.
the teenage pregnancy rate declined, the abortion rates declined because again they did not know that they have all these choices. Because again, some cultures, your mother won't even speak to you about your menstrual period.
Right.
They won't speak
Right.
to you about sex much more. So again, this is it's what it is.
I think in New York City, birth control's free. Isn't it?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get birth control.
So
Hey, so along
Anyway.
those lines, this is just a question. So if all these women are promising that they're not going to have sex with men for the next 4 years, isn't that some form
Oh,
of
I didn't
birth
hear that.
control?
Well, we're gonna be celibate. Well, it's gonna
some wo-
decline the
some-
population
some
too.
some women are saying that, but isn't that some form of birth control, abstinence? So, my
Absolutely,
question is,
absolutely.
but my question is, if you tell them that, would they be so pissed off? Like, well, I'm going to go have sex. You can't tell me I can't I have to have some type of birth control. You bastard, you. So anyway, I just thought that
and
was
here
kinda
and here's
funny.
the thing. That statement goes right into what we're saying. My body, my choice. Take
Right.
care of your body. That way you
Yeah.
don't have to make that ultimate choice. And if these women are so mad that someone's telling them they can't have an abortion after 10 weeks or 15 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever it is, and they decide not to have sex, wouldn't it just be easier to have birth control? I
Well,
don't
I mean-
know. Your body, your choice.
But-
Or
but-
make the man wear a condom. You know, I'm just saying there's
Let
plenty
the
of
man
other ways,
have a vasectomy.
Or
I don't know.
whatever. And actually, there's one thing that I think should really the drug companies could do this in a matter of no time at all. Is a birth control pill for men who basically they take it, they can't have babies, they stop taking it, and eventually they can have babies.
Because I'm sure that's
They
100%
should do it, and I don't know why they don't. Well, it's
Like
gonna be,
everything else,
it's going to be as effective as anything else is, you know.
Right.
Well,
Well,
but anyways, you think we should end this or not?
We can end it in a second. The
You've
interesting
had
thing
enough?
about this whole interesting thing
No,
about
I'll
this
keep-
whole conversation is that when it comes to birth control, there's all kinds of forms of birth control. Abstinence can
Yeah.
be a form of birth control, but if you want to
Rhythm
have sex
method.
as much as you can, well, I'm not going to talk about that. But the reality is, like, look, if you take methods to protect yourself, like, because I've heard this conversation, which I'm like, you lost your freaking mind. And I wasn't really raised that way. Our mom had a really different mentality about sex and wanting to help us out and all this stuff. And that wasn't really what made my sexual experience the way it was. The first person that I ever had sex with, she's like, look, you put a condom on that thing before you come near me, right? And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. You know, I'm just happy I'm gonna have sex, right? So it can be done, right? But then there are men who are like, well, I like the feeling of going on natural. It's like, okay, so then you like.
Well, that's when you go, I'm not going to have sex.
Right? Yeah. And what's the joke? All men are like basketball players. They always dribble before they shoot. You know, so it's like there's a little bit of semen gonna slip out of there before you're ready to pull out and withdraw. If you're using the withdrawal method, you know. So it's like,
Well, you know, I read something somewhere a long time ago that you can't get pregnant by the dribble. I read that a long time ago somewhere, probably back in the early 2000s.
now we're really into
1990s.
the weeds right
1990s.
now. My
I
apologies
read
for
that. That's what I'm
dragging us into the weeds. Holy mackerel!
Yes,
Yeah.
let's go into yes. We're gonna
So-
get back to
Yeah,
let's
yeah. So
wrap it
I mean,
up and
there's a lot of great things that are going to happen in our country. I feel in the next 2 years, right? And there's a lot of opportunity for them to make it.
And
great,
it may
right?
go longer than 2 years too, because
Yeah.
if these things happen
it'll
and it
take
makes our
time.
country better, why would
Right.
we change it? So
Right.
let's see what happens. You have 2 years. Everybody who's scared the world's going to end, it didn't end with Joe Biden and the Democrats had control for
Right.
2 years, and they did some stupid shit. Okay,
Oh my
but
gosh.
and they did some good things too. I mean, like I tell my brother doesn't like this, but I tell him they passed the infrastructure bill, which my brother doesn't like because it's spending. But every president since Clinton, even Reagan, I think, might have talked about an infrastructure bill to rebuild our infrastructure, because our infrastructure in this country is so old, it's outdated. Okay,
Yeah.
so they did do that.
It
But-
absolutely
Look at
but
the bridge in
anyways,
Baltimore.
my-
Especially
You
New
know, the
York
bridge
City.
in Baltimore.
It's 2 years. It's
Especially
2
New York
years.
City.
They're not going to end the world in 2 years. And if you don't
Right.
like it in 2 years, when you go out and vote for your congressman and senate, you change it so that they don't have full control. It's pretty simple.
You
Yeah,
have
we got
control,
2
and the
years.
people have proven that, right? The people
Yeah,
have
it-
proven that they
But-
do have control.
But if they have control and things get better, you should vote them back in. I don't
Let
care
it
whether
be,
you
yeah.
like Democrats or not.
Just
If
let
these
it be,
guys are
yeah.
making things better, then keep voting them in.
Yeah.
And
And-
when, as soon as
and,
they
you know-
stop, vote them out.
Right. That's the way it should
Yeah,
be.
and
And
then the
and
Trump
the
thing.
problem is that there's people on our side that
The
are like
voice.
so excited that Trump won with a the majority of the electoral vote, the majority of the popular vote, all this other stuff. And this one guy, I'm like, dude, you're just an idiot to make a statement like that. But he's like, oh, who knows? Maybe we could change the Constitution and Trump could run for another 4 years. I'm like,
I heard
people
that too.
don't-
Like,
the people that don't like Trump, that's not going to be a warm and fuzzy like, oh, that's a good idea, And it's like, look, why don't we just take it one day at a time? One day at
One
a
battle
time.
at a time. One battle at
see,
a time.
see how it goes. If the first 2 years goes
That-
well, you can vote in more Republicans, so you have a strong majority, and you continue it on for another 2 years. And then at the end of that 4
I-
years, you have an end of Donald Trump's presidency, and you have a new group of people coming in to run for president.
right.
So
I would say
that's the way
them
it
trying
should
to
be.
change the Constitution to make Trump eligible to go another 4 years is like when AOC and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi all brought
Adam
up the
Shifty
idea.
Schiff.
Adam Shifty Schiff brought up the idea we should abolish the filibuster because we
Mm-hmm.
want to get some things done that we're not going to get done. That's changing the rules because you don't like the rules, not because it's the best for the country.
It's
And
just
that's what I think
asinine.
that would-
And as
Yeah.
much as I am pro Trump, it's like, look, we have a constitutional law right now that says that you get 2 4-year terms. That's it. Period. Whether they're
And
consecutive
How
or
he's
not.
going to be like 82 years old. He's going to be 82
Yeah.
years old when that comes around too. So it's like, really, do we want him in there again another 4 years after that?
We don't
But-
want another Biden do-over.
yeah. Oh.
But see,
Oh,
that's
that's
why
fu-
I
did you
think
see that-
JD
you
Vance
see-
is a good vice presidential candidate because I think
Right.
JD Vance could take over the presidency and if he gets elected.
He's young and smart.
And- yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
And
lot
this-
of candidates now that they're bringing to power, right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
never know.
Right.
And that's one of the things I love
Yeah.
about our the people that he's picking for the different departments of our country. I
Yeah. A lot
really
of them are
am-
younger
I-
people that have
yeah,
better,
they're all
different
younger,
ideas.
Yeah.
You know, they're not Washington beat up yet.
Yeah.
They have, they
And-
come in and
and
they got these
hopefully
good
they
other
don't
ideas.
get-
And if you get a bunch of those people in there, maybe they can change what's going on in Washington.
Right.
You know? Oh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw in one
Mhm.
one more
Alright.
little tidbit just for titillation before we sign off.
Titillation.
Well,
Woo.
wow.
Woo.
Where-
Brother.
So the one person that we haven't heard about and going to any position in this current administration is Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'll just throw that out there for you.
Oh.
Anyway,
okay,
we
Dad.
we,
on that
want to
note,
say thank
Not
you
a
all
big
for
fan of
coming.
Marjorie Taylor Greene,
I
just
know,
so you
I
know.
know you're not. That's
Aw.
why I wanted to move on.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. We say
Yeah.
God bless America. God bless our troops.
Thanks,
God
everyone.
bless our first responders, our police officers, our firefighters, our first responders. We thank you all for coming, and God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And thank you for my wonderful wife. for
Yes,
showing
thank
up
you for
today.
Dulcie.
I
Yes.
love her so much. And everything my
Hey,
brother
none
said
of-
time to do. Love you guys and have a great night. God bless everybody.
Nice
God
guy.
bless you. We're a live show, so you can't do that.
Just did it.
Time to go.